Tokozani. It's so good to see you. It's so good to have you here with me on this episode of Vusela with Gogo uMkhanya, and that is me. And I am so glad to be able to share with you. I'm answering some questions that I received in my inbox, in my DM, I'm sorry, on Instagram. I put out a poll on my stories and asked people, for some topics that they wanted me to discuss here on video. And so today we're going to be talking about the art of being able to observe and not engage in the chaos of life as it unfolds. And this question was sent to me by Jan underscore Faith on Instagram. And the art of being able to observe and not engage in the chaos of life as it unfolds. So, chaos is primordial, chaos is necessary, chaos is first. Before there is order, there is chaos. The Bible says, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth, and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the water. In essence, before there was anything, there was chaos. It was primordial nothingness. It was, and nothing is everything. It's everything put together, so much so until it's nothing. Okay, so this is the paradox of the universe that we live in. Chaos is necessary. It is necessary for things to fall apart before they can fall back together. Okay, so as we understand that chaos is a necessary part of the creative process, it is in fact important for us to remember that we don't have to engage or internalize the chaos, that we ourselves can actually just observe the chaos. And this is a great question because one of the things that I find that people have trouble doing is observing their thoughts. Um, Observing their thoughts instead of thinking their thoughts, observing their feelings, um, feeling their feelings, but also observing their feelings at the same time and not embodying their feelings. And it's a very thin line between feeling the thing and embodying the thing, internalizing the thing. So the difference is when I feel, because that's one of my gifts, is the gift of feeling. Listen, if there is emotional energy around, Gogo is going to pick it up, okay? And I'm going to feel it and I'm going to have to process it through my being. And so, one of the ways that I do that is I literally talk to myself and I remind myself that I am not my feelings, that I am not my thoughts, that I am not the chaos that may be going on inside me or around me, but that I am the observer. I literally say these words to myself, that I am the observer. I am watching what is happening. And I get into that space and it kind of create a mental image of myself watching the thoughts as they go through my mind, watching the feelings and kind of getting into that space through meditation of like looking in my body, scanning my body and seeing where the emotional energy is flowing and what's pushing it and what's really getting it going and what's underneath it. So what I do, it's kind of a mental exercise, a mnemonic device, as it were, that keeps me from getting trapped inside my own mind, getting trapped inside the matrix of these thoughts and the matrix of the chaos that I may see around me. I also have to remind myself that if I see chaos around me, then it is in fact something that is necessary to happen. That if the chaos is happening, then that means that something is falling apart in order for something else to fall together. It means that there's growth happening. It means that the truth is being revealed. It means that messages that have been blocked are starting to come through and literally break through. So it's about shifting your perspective on what chaos is and what the purpose of chaos is. because chaos serves a purpose. Without it, there's nothing to put in order. Without chaos, there's no order. You know, if every day is a sunny day, then what's a sunny day? You know, so you need that polarity of chaos. And that's why you have to just always be in the position and in the mental state of being an observer and just observing what is happening in your life, observing what is happening within your body, observing what is happening in your heart and in your mind. And that means, you know, for me, like I said, the way that I do that is by keeping that mental image of myself as the observer, as the one who is watching the screen, and understanding that it is my higher self that is projecting this image that I'm able to see and decipher. There's a higher self, and then there's also the lower self, which is the darkness of the theater, right? But you need both of these things in order to be able to see the image that is being projected. You need the projector, and then you need the darkness as well, and then you need the person in the seat. And when you realize that you are all three of these sides of you, you are not just darkness and light. You are that place in the middle. When we look at the yin and yang symbol, we see that there is the yin with the little bit of the yang in it, and then we see the yang that has a little bit of the yin in it. But there's also that line in the middle, that way, that middle path that the Buddha spoke about. You know, the highway that the Bible speaks about. That path, that narrow way, is peace, and it is peace, and it is unity, and it is unification and integration of the both sides of you coming into the center of oneness. And being in that place of oneness is how you are able to observe both the chaos and the order in your life and see it as an experiment and look at your life um, as the scientist that is conducting the experiment, and also as the experiment itself that is being acted upon. So that is the way that I deal with when chaos seems to surround me. I also find that it is important to um, examine oneself and see where in oneself things are out of order. Because if there is chaos around you, then there might be some chaos also within you that needs to be brought to order. Maybe there's some bad habits, maybe there's some hurtful thought patterns, or some, counterproductive behaviors, counterintuitive actions that you've been taking that are habitual and that are routine for you. And so perhaps it is this chaos that is showing up in your life is showing up as a result of it being time for these patterns to break. It's time for these habits to break. And so you've reached the end of these patterns, and now that vehicle is stalling. That vehicle that had gotten you to up to where you are, it's no longer useful. It's stalling out, and now it's causing chaos in your life because you need to actually let go of some things, let go of some patterns, let go of some belief systems and some ideas. So all of these things are critical for us to really really embody our lives fully, both the light and the dark, and the path in the middle. That's why we bring our hands together. Whether you're doing it like this and you're saying namaste, or whether you're doing it like this and you're saying tokoza, it is always a coming together of the meeting of the two parts of you, the two halves, the light and the dark, and meeting in the middle. And the space in the middle is you. You are both the light, you are the dark, and you are also the space in the middle. So as you remember that, that the you that is watching your life is the higher self. It is your higher being. It is your enlightened, your awakened, and elevated self that is literally watching your lower self, or your three-dimensional self, play out the script that you have already agreed to, the role you already agreed to play when you came to this planet, is the role that your higher self is projecting, and you, as the being that you are, is watching in the theater. And then the theater is your soul, it is your being, it is your house, it is all of you. So you can find yourself in every element of your life. whether it is chaotic or in order. And in doing so, you will come to know yourself um, on a level where no one will be able to tell you anything about yourself. No one will be able to um, tell you anything that insults your soul. Once you accept that you are both light and dark, you are both chaos and the order, and then you are the observer in the middle. Get to know the observer in the middle. Spend time in meditation. Spend time in silence. Spend time thinking about your ancestors, your spirit, your higher self. My Baba tells me all the time to light the candle in your mind. And that's why one of the reasons why we like candles is because it's a focal point, it's a connection point. And so sometimes you have to, because you don't have access to the candle, you can light the candle in your mind and focus on that. And that will bring you to the point of center, that will bring you to the point of peace, where you can observe what's going on in your life without judgment, without fear, without hesitation. That's it for this particular inspiration. I hope that I answered your question, Miss Monell. Thank you so much for it. If you have any further questions, you can always inbox me. You can always DM me. I look forward to receiving your feedback and communicating with you. So by all means, contact me, hit me up, let me know what's going on with you. All right? Until we meet again, thank you so much for taking the time to sit with me and to hear what Spirit has to say. I greet you once again, Tokoza. Enjoy your day.